Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video, and this is going to be episode 2 of my beginners series. The last episode, my first episode, was I was talking about killers and how important they are. And to build off of that video, and if you haven't watched it, please go watch that, because if you're a beginner, you're going to want to know about that before you go into this one. So go back and watch that one first, and then come back, because now we're going to build off of the killers aspect as it becomes a huge block of what we're going to be talking about today, which is espers, as you can see here. So as a beginning player, you're going to be like, what are all these things for? Why do I see all these people having espers as their friend unit? You know, things like that. Why are all these things showing up? Well, I'm going to tell you. So, when you're a new player, when you're going through the story at the very beginning, you're going to be able to see this person, Siren, and you're not going to see these 2 stars here, by the way. You'll have her as a 1 star, which you'll work your way up. And as you can see here, espers have certain stats that you would like to have. Like, for example, water resistance is quite nice, but of course there has to be a drawback. So we'll be going more into what that all means certainly soon. But some espers have mind not leveled, because honestly, Siren is one of the weakest ones, but the water resistance is still good. And there are some other things in here that maybe it has a dispel. I mean, there are some things in here that you may want to have, possibly, but this is what you're really working towards. So Siren, you probably don't want to invest a whole bunch into it, because honestly, she doesn't have very much. And as a new player, just look at the 1-star stuff. So really, don't focus on too much. And to get things to level up your esper, which you saw here, I showed you briefly, there will be some events called raids, and sometimes they'll give them away for free in events, and vortex dungeons and things like that can give you stuff. And also we'll be getting something else shortly, which also can get you some stuff. So raids are going to be your main focus on getting these esper leveling shards that you can see here. To a whole bunch. Magicites and mega sites. Don't worry about the super sites yet. As a new player, you shouldn't even be looking at that. And Esper Wars, don't even look at those either. But we'll be going into those in this video at the end. So yeah, just worry about the tier 1 and tier 2 shards. The Magicites and the Megasites. So use these to level up your esper like this. See, all you have to do is just click on it, and you get away you go. And depending on your system, I'm not sure. Maybe some systems you can't do this, but you can just hold down. Either if you're using an emulator, you can just hold down the mouse button, or you can just hold your finger down on the thing, on the thing you want to use, and it will level up like this. So that's how you level up an esper. How you are able to get the rank above where you want to be in case, let's say you have 1-star esper of Siren and you want to go to 2-star. You have to level up the 1 esper fully to max. I think that's level 20, if I remember correctly. So you need her Siren to be max leveled. It'll say here something of something, and you'll be able to do that once you are able to do that. Once you're able to level them up fully, you'll be able to go back into the story here, and depending on where, yeah, go to where you got Siren originally, which is right here, and another stage will unlock for you. This is how you're able to upgrade your espers. So the first Siren Tower of top floor is already free within the story. You cannot miss this. This is one of those things you cannot miss, because it is part of the story. So you'll get your first esper. Once you are able to finally get around to leveling it, you'll be able to do the Witcher's trial, which will show up. Once you're able to get that esper level 2 to max level on that, the next one, the new trial, the Bewitcher, will show up for you. So that's how you're able to do that situation. And yeah, I would say probably don't worry about the last one right now. This one is definitely not really that good for new players. I mean, maybe a carrier friend could beat this for you, but honestly, these 3-star Esper trial, they're kind of like near trial level for beginners. And also, I'll be linking, because there are some espers that you need to do some quests for that are not going to just show up in the story like Siren did. So I will be linking in the description or the comment section down below. I will be linking where you can get Ifrit and all those other espers that you saw that I had. So yeah, as you can see here, I have all the espers in the game, but as a new player, you really shouldn't be worrying about too much. Now we're going to talk about the first esper that actually has some usefulness to them. And when I say usefulness, I mean killers. And that's why I was talking about you needed to watch the other video, because now we're going to be talking about one of the biggest parts of this game and one of the biggest shortcuts to getting 300% killers, which is the maximum you can get on a unit that you can build up on before buffs, because buffs you can still go beyond 300. The buffs don't count towards that 300%, but espers have killers. Not every killer in the game, but they have, you know, Ifrit has plant killer, and also another killer here, I believe, and beast killer, yes. So some espers only have one killer, some espers have two, some espers have even more than two. But yeah. So your main focus as a new player, I really feel like Ifrit, Diabolos, and Odin are probably your best big gear focus when you're starting to play the game, where you're taking this game a little more seriously. You're going through the story, you're getting it all done, you're getting some espers, you're getting some leveling things that you can level them with. You really want to focus on the three espers I talked about, because Man-Eater and Demon Killer are very good killers, guys. And these ones for melee, for physical damage dealers, this is already 125% Man-Eater. This is already 125% Demon Killer for physical damage dealers. And why I say that, because you can read here, it says only these top two are only for physical, because it's kind of an older mechanic where mages really weren't in the game back then. So that's why it's really for physical killers, but mages still can profit off of that, because that's 75%. These two are 75% killers for magic, which are still good. And Odin has some good killers as well, Dragon Killer and Zombie and Undead Killer, but mainly the Dragon Killer is the main focus, of course. And so there you go. So those are the ones you really should focus on. Everything else is probably going to be not really required to your account precisely right now, but in the future you may want to focus on, as a new player, you may want to focus on Lakshmi, because she does have things like Charm AoE resistance, which is very nice to have, and some other things. I think she also has stop resistance, but I don't have that enabled on mine. But you may want to go ahead and do that. So Charm and stop resistance is very nice to have on someone you may want to use it on, like a support that has an off turn. So yeah, I think Lakshmi is also really good to have, and most people are probably going to recommend for you to get her because of those things. Some of these other espers though are just really, and this is the next part of the video, and we briefly talked about before, some of these espers are really only good for their resistances. And by what I mean by that, like when I showed you here, you're not going to bring Siren to a fight where you're going to be fighting something that is using lightning attacks, right? You would bring Siren to something that has water. Same thing could be said with all these other espers here. You don't want to bring Ifrit into something that has ice attacks, because you'll take damage from that. And same thing could be said here. So there are some espers here that are really only focused on putting on your magic tank, cover magic tank, such as Siren, Shiva. Golem has more usefulness down the road, but for you probably only maybe putting that on your physical cover tank, or maybe your provoke tank, which those are some, I know those are some harder mechanics that we'll be talking about down the road probably. Carbuncle, really good for your healer though. Carbuncle is actually an interesting one, because Carbuncle has a bunch of things that are really good for new players, such as the bar spells. Now I don't have all the good ones, but for you it's nice. And also they also have a dispel, which is really nice if your healer does not have a dispel. That's also a nice thing to have. So Carbuncle is also one of those ones that you kind of want to use, but primarily you're bringing Carbuncle for the light resistance, but at the same time it's still nice. And then there are some espers who have no resistances, like Odin. He has none. So Odin has nothing, and also Bahamut has nothing, and also Lakshmi has nothing. So there are some espers who don't have any resistances, which those will be used for something else. So primarily you do not, as a new player, you can focus on Siren if you want, but really I don't recommend focusing too much. As you can see, she's not even fully leveled in my account, because she's just useful for the water resistance. Same thing for Shiva. Shiva does not have any killers, so Shiva's really only for the ice resistance. You get it? Are you following what I'm saying? And then there's some other espers like Anima down the road, who are also only really useful for the resistances and things like that. And yeah, I think the last thing we're going to talk about, since we've talked about killers and their importance and resistances, those are really important too. The last thing you want to talk about, last two things I guess, is on Esper ores. Now this is a are they here? Oh, whoops. Kind of forgot what they are because I don't really make them too often. Here they are. So this is an advanced mechanic that you as a new player should not ever worry about anytime soon, but you can come back and look at this video when you're ready to when you have a 3-star Esper and you're ready to go. Once you're able to level them up all the way and you use all those points that you gain from leveling them up, because you gain a certain amount of points when you level up your Esper to get those things on that grid, those options on the grid to select. These Esper ores, depending on what Esper you have, they these colors correlate to the Esper that you're using. So certain Espers, take for example the fire one. This red one here will be better useful on Ifrit, for example, because he'll get a bonus on that. So these allow you to have more SP points, or special points. I don't know what they're. I think it's called special points. And yeah, so you'll be able to get more points than what you would have gotten if you leveled them to max, which was normally not a thing for a long time until about last year. So that will help you out. That'll definitely be able to help you out. So there's that. And I think there was one last thing. Oh right, so this is going to be a side thing. Expeditions. There will be some things in here as well you can get, like as you see right here. And oh, this is the best, because this is the best time to show you. So you can get these things in here, guys. I know expeditions are for new players and not really the best thing because they do cost a lot of gil, but raids give you a lot of gil too, because you'll be getting coins. And there's a raid going on right now, which, to be fair, you might not be able to do the best level because you're a new player, but it's still useful to get that. And then while you're doing raid, you can do expeditions for these super sites, which I said not to worry about too much, but it's still not bad to stock up on them. And also getting some of these as well, some of these missions. Now you can't pick, and you can pick. Sometimes you can pick which one you want, but you can't choose at will which one you want. And that's a perfect example of sometimes you can fail, depending on what things. Both of them failed. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to get anything like that. So I guess this is the best example to show you how to do expeditions, but I might do a whole video on expeditions. But I really want to focus on, probably as a new player, to focus on well, you're probably not going to have very many units as a free player, but maybe they'll give away enough stuff for you to start doing expeditions, and you just want to try your best. Even I can fail, but just try your best, get in there and get some of these, try and see if you can find these to level up your Esper. And you can also refresh for free every day, or if you have some of these ancient coins, you can do that too. But that's going way too far into it. So in summary, some Espers are good for their killers, some Espers are good for their resistances, and some Espers are good for their abilities that you can get. So you use this SP here, and you're able to unlock abilities like this. See how I got that? Now it'll go up to the next one. You gotta really lean in a little bit and see where those lines are going, so you can plan out ahead of time to where you want to go. So that'll be it. I think we're done now, guys. I think I covered everything you'd want to know for Espers. I'll link the link down below for Espers, where if you can do a side quest to get more of them, when you get further into the game, because like I said, Siren is the only one you get for free, I think, through the story. Now you have to work towards getting the other ones. And one final tip, one's like extra credit tip: make sure you don't invest too many points into getting some of these, you know, niche. Not saying any of this stuff is niche, but there are some espers that have really bad abilities at this point, which you probably wouldn't want to get. I think Ifrit is a very good example. They sound cool, like this blazing evocation, not so good because all it does is just do more damage with Ifrit. Summons don't do very much damage, guys. Despite what it may sound like in real Final Fantasy games. And by the way, don't get these. Do not get these. These sound cool and everything. Like, oh wow, Hellburner, that sounds awesome. Don't get it. Just don't do that. There are some abilities that you want to watch out for. So that's an extra credit tip for you guys. This video's already been going way too long. I wanted to keep these short and sweet for you guys to ingest quickly so you can get into playing the game. But if there's anything that I missed that I did not cover or I covered too quickly, please let me know that in the comment section down below, and I will respond to you. As you guys know, I always like responding to your guys' comments. So if you're liking this series, please give a thumbs up, as I want to know you guys want to keep me going. Or if you just don't want me to do it anymore, please give a thumbs down. Either or is fine by me. And please consider subscribing if you're a new player, or if you're just new to the channel in general. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.